Okay, I'm gonna have this recording on the Alliance, but we'll get started here shortly. Make sure y'all have y'all's questions, guys, in the chat, and we'll bring Royal on in a bit. I asked him if he can come on and share some stuff about the business credit and how to get that set up. If you have a business and you have an LLC, how to take advantage of that business credit. And the goal with the business credit is not to abuse it. It's really to kind of put you in a position so you're able to make some bigger moves down the road. And so one of the examples I can give you with putting yourself in a better position is I'm always trying to like plan for the future. I'm always trying to position myself for the future. And we just closed a deal on an RV park that they owner financed us. They owner financed us. There he is right there. All right, guys. If anybody else joins in, I'll just add them in. I sent this out to a lot of people, and a lot of people were busy. So whoever joins in, I'm gonna have this recorded on the Alliance as well. But like I was saying, I'm gonna have my man Royal come on here shortly. He's gonna share his strategies for establishing the business credit with credit cards under your business name. And so let me just share some of the reasons why I think it's always good to position yourself for the future, right? I was just on a call with I was just on a 2-hour call with Patrick David, and he was sharing some very rare stuff about predictions for the next 2 to 5 years. He was basically saying that the interest rates are going to keep climbing. They're supposed to go up another 4 times. They're not sure how high they're going to go, but it's really going to affect a lot of the industries right now, like the realtors. It's really going to affect the mortgages. It's going to put a lot of people in a lot of bad positions because they're going to see this increase in interest rates, and so everybody's going to be scrambling because everybody's used to getting this money from the stimulus, and all that's going to be cut off. And so things are going to shift. So now is the time to really position yourself and build a stronger foundation. One of the reasons why I think building your credit is going to be so important. And when I say build your credit, I'm not talking about abusing your credit. I'm talking about just positioning yourself to where you have that kind of weapon in case you need it, right? And so I'm always one to kind of keep building my credit. And when I say position myself, I'll give you an example. We just closed on an RV park, and I got the owner to owner finance it, right? And part of the agreement from their broker was for me to show my credit report. Okay, I didn't know they were gonna ask for that, but they asked for me to pull that card for them, and so if I wasn't in position, if I didn't position myself years back, I would have not been able to play that card out. And so the reason why I'm telling you build up your credit but don't abuse it is so that if an opportunity comes, you have different weapons to take action on things, right? And so I'm gonna turn things over to my man Royal right here, but I know I was talking with Manuel yesterday, and he was asking me about business credit, and I wanted to get my man Royal on the line and just let him share like what he's done with his business credit, because I don't really use business credit, like my credit cards for my business. I usually just let the operations run by itself. But I know Royal has experience in that, and I wanted to bring him on and let y'all kind of, pick his brain and let him speak on that on behalf of that. So I want to introduce my man Royal. He owns 2 barbershops, some real estate property. He has a beautiful family, man. He has a lot of things going on. He's very young. and he's doing big things. He's doing big things at his age. So big shout out to him, and I'm gonna bring him on right now. So here you go, brother. I think your mic's off.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I said thank you, and I said if you can see me clearly, everything looks good. I would say like the first thing for business credit. So I mean, as far as credit wise, I used to run a credit repair company. I just stopped doing it just because it's a real volatile business. You can't guarantee anything. The only thing I still do now is trade lines. But as far as being involved in the credit industry, I would say since I was 18, my main goal when I was 18 is to build my personal credit. My parents didn't have good credit. Mostly everybody around me didn't have good credit. There's probably, besides me, there's probably like 2 other homeowners in my whole family, you know, and I wanted to own my own first house while I was a teenager. So I bought my first $150,000 house as a teenager at 19 years old. And the main thing that helped me do that was having, you know, a good credit score. I was over 700 already. But I would say the main thing for business credit though is you have to have your personal credit has to be really good if you want to be able to get good business credit. Because if not, most of the time you want it, if your business is just getting established, let's say it's a brand new LLC, and you apply for a business credit card, if you don't have no personal credit, then you won't even get approved. Like for example, with the power of you have good credit score, like I just so my barbershop, I just turned into an LLC maybe last year. But within 2 months, I applied for an American Express business credit card, and they immediately approved me for $15,000. And that's just going off my personal credit score. That's not going off my business credit, because the EIN didn't even have no credit. It had no credit history. It had no previous loans. It had nothing underneath it. But and it also too, like the leverage of that is it's 18%, 18 months, 0% interest. So I went and maxed out that credit card, and then little by little I pay it back by the 18 months it's paid off. So I just went and got free money. You know, I'm using other people's money for free. But like I said, the main thing is to work on your personal credit, build up your personal credit, whether it be through trade lines, small loans, or if you have family members, you can get on their credit cards that they've had for a long time. That'll help you out a lot. But I'm not going to talk too much of personal credit, but that's like the main thing you want to do is build up personal credit. Because if you don't have good personal credit, then your business credit is going to be harder to establish.
So can I, you said about the, I know of this strategy, like, you know how you get the 18 months free credit, I mean, no interest?
Yeah.
You can also apply for another credit card to do a transfer balance. And a lot of the transfer balances have no interest for another year.
Yeah,
so
yeah, sure.
If you can't pay it off if you can't pay it off in that time, you can transfer it over to the new card because your credit's good. I wanted to ask you, you said you did the credit repair. What are some strategies to bring up your credit score?
As far as like from a credit repair, what I would do is I would challenge them, because they have a certain amount of time by law for them to validate the debt. So let's say you have a negative collection account on your credit report. You can challenge it yourself. You can send a letter out to credit bureaus. It'll probably even be easier for you to do it yourself rather than paying a credit repair company. And you can do a handwritten letter just to make it look more legit. Tell them that they need to. You can get templates online too. Just to give an example, just type in credit. Just type in credit repair letter or something like that. It'll usually pop up, and they'll give you examples. But basically, what you're doing is you're asking them to validate the debt. You can look validate for debt letter online, and they have a certain time frame. Usually, I think it's like 30 to 45 days or something like that. And if they don't validate it within that time frame, then it has to be deleted off your credit report. And when I was doing credit repair, that's the way I would do it. And a lot of the times it would get good deletes, but it was real volatile, because sometimes they can come back and validate the debt, and I hated charging for something I couldn't guarantee, but it's worth a shot, because if you because when it becomes a collection, they already sold the debt. So let's say you have a big company, like let's say Kia Motors, right?
Yeah.
You owe them $5,000. They sell it for pennies on a dollar to a collection agency who buys it for, let's say, a couple $100. And now they're coming to you like, hey, we want that $5,000 you used to owe Kia. But now Kia wrote it off as a loss. So they got their money back when it came down for them to do their taxes. They've already got their money back. And now this company went and bought it for a few hundred and want to come to you for $5,000. So now the people who own it now, let's say it's ABC Collections, those aren't the people you originally signed a contract with for you to pay back, So you don't even owe these people money. Now it's just pretty much like that debt's gone. So these people who are asking you to pay them now are the people you never owed money to in the first place. Yeah. So now what I usually do is like tell people to challenge the debt. And if it comes back down to them validating that, there's other alternatives you can try to do, pay for delete, offer them if you pay for it, will they delete it and stuff like that. But it is once it's on your credit report, it's a very hard process to get it removed. I've gotten things removed a lot of times, but it is very hard for it to get removed. So
yeah,
best case scenario is to just try to avoid it if you can, avoid having a collection or anything negative on your credit report. But like I said, it's possible to get it removed though. It's not the end of the world if you do have things on your credit report. I've had $8,000 charge-offs on my credit report, and I'm at 800 right now. But it took a long time for me to get it removed. But it's possible.
Yeah. So is there any hacks to kind of like jump your credit score? Like any
trade lines is one of the biggest things I always advocate people to do is trade lines. I have one that I sell, but you can go on tradelinesupply.com and they sell, there's hundreds of trade lines on there you can buy. It'll have the time frame. Let's say you can go on there and buy a 10-year trade line with a $20,000 credit limit, and you buy that trade line, they put you on that credit card and they leave you on there for 2 months, and it goes in your credit report. So now when you go apply for credit cards, they see that you've already had a $20,000, $10,000 credit card. It helps you get bigger limits. That's like one of the fastest ways.
Trade line supplies.
Tradelinesupply.com.
And so what exactly is that?
Oh, they sell trade lines. Like I mentioned to you before, like let's say for me, I have a credit card. This is my trade line. I've had a credit card I've had for 8 years. If I were to put you as an authorized user on that credit card,
okay,
I put the address as my house, right? The credit card comes in with your name on it. I cut it up and throw it away. Well, my 8 years I've been paying on that credit card. Let's say it's a $10,000 credit card, right? I've been paying on it for 8 years on time, never missed a payment.
Yeah.
And I keep my balance below 10%. That 8 years of me paying on time and keep my balance low now went on your credit report. And if you're a beginning person with no credit, or if you have bad credit and you don't have no good established credit history, I've seen point jumps. I've seen increases from 60 points to over 200 points. And that's not exaggerating it. Yeah. But you can't guarantee what it's going to, because everybody's score increases differently.
Yeah.
But as far as getting a big jump, that's one of the fastest things you can do is a credit trade line.
Okay, so
it's called piggybacking in a way.
Yeah, piggybacking. Okay, so it's not you're not actually getting like a trade line from like you're not actually getting a trade line from like a supplier. You're just kind of someone is offering for you to piggyback off them.
Yeah. Or someone's giving you, like I said, you just authorized user. They put you on their card for 2 months, cut it up, and then you're gone. But it stays on your credit report for 7 years.
Oh, nice.
And it looks like it was your credit card, So it looked like you paid it for 8 years, even though I'm the one who did all the hard work and paid it for 8 years.
Nice.
And that's why the person who puts you on gets rewarded for it. But they have tradelinesupply.com. Another thing you could do is Self. So Self is a website where you can pay yourself like 20 or 30 bucks a month, and Self reports it as like a loan. Like if you don't have no established credit and it's hard for you to get a loan, it's a good thing for you to do.
Self.
Yeah, Self. It's called SELF, like Self. You're paying yourself basically.
Okay.
So you do it. I think it's like a year or two. You can do it. And you pay yourself like 25, 30 bucks a month. They charge you a small percentage. At the end of those 2 years, they give you the money back. But the whole time, it looks like you're paying a loan on your credit profile.
Yeah. Got it. Let me ask you. So let's go through the process of the actual business credit, right? So they have to get the LLC, right?
LLC, the EIN number for sure.
The EIN number, and then so.
The Dunes and Bradstreet, it's good to apply for that too to get that established. The DMB.
Doing Brad, okay. And then so whenever we set ours up, we got a 1-800 number. Is that necessary?
I mean, it looks more legit, but you don't need it to apply for business credit. You don't.
Okay. And then would you so then what? Like what's the next steps?
After pretty much just applying, let's say you have a decent credit profile history, and you just did all those things that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Once you apply for a credit card, more than likely, and also too, another thing too is like, because they're not going to ask for proof of income at first. So like, let's say you're going to apply for a credit card. Don't put, like, let's say your business just started and you put down 0. You're not going to get approved. You're going to get denied for everything you apply for. Even if you're 800 credit score, you will get denied. So the main thing is put what you project to make. Like, let's say, okay, I made, $200 this month, but my business is just going next month. I'm going to make, I project to make 2,000. Put down best case scenario, what you'd make in your business for that. If they ask for annual or monthly income, whatever, just put the best case scenario. Because they're not going to ask for proof of income. They're not going to ask for it most of the time. Most of the time they won't. Like if you apply for American Express, the best card to start off too with is I like the American Express, the Business Plus cards, and then the Chase Business Inc. Chase
Okay.
Business Inc. I got approved for that card for like 8,000 when I was like 18, and I got approved for that for an LLC for a real estate holding company, which that barely had any income. I was only claiming like $1,500 a month, and I got approved for 8,000 with that card. Chase Business Inc. is a good card.
Okay.
So American Express, Chase Business Inc. They have the Capital One Spark. That's another good card to apply for. The only downside to the Capital One Spark is if it shows on your personal credit profile. So the American Express and the Business Inc. doesn't even show on your credit profile. So if you max these cards out, it don't show on your name.
Okay.
It shows on your business.
Yeah.
Which you want to pay them down eventually, because then if you apply, but let's say you open up your business and you went and got 30,000 between those two credit cards, and you want to max them out, and then because you don't need no more credit as of right now, then you want to pay them down before you apply for more credit, though. You don't want to leave them maxed out, because then it reflects on your business,
Yeah, I got it.
But it'll stay on your EIN number. It won't show on your Social Security no more.
Yeah,
that's the best part of being able to use that credit on business.
Yeah, you can slowly start to transition some of your expenses over.
Yeah, for sure. That you pay on personal cards. Yeah,
if you're paying like a lot on your card and stuff.
Yeah, so like the main thing, like I said, like you said, like get an LLC, a Duns and Bradstreet number. You can get the account with them is really free too.
Yeah.
And then they'll give you an estimate of what your credit is like. And then the EIN number, obviously, for sure. And then having a decent credit profile. If you've already worked on that, I'll say to work on that before you do anything. For business credit, because then it's always gonna be a hassle to get business credit.
Yeah, what helped me like get my credit up is I kept like getting I kept increasing my credit lines on all my cards.
Yeah.
Pretty soon my debt to credit ratio.
And it's always good to have the available credit. Yeah. Available credit goes up. I just
kept getting that credit line increasing, and then pretty soon my actual debt kept dropping because I kept increasing I kept offsetting it. So
yeah, for sure. That's exactly what you want to do. That I mean, if you use your credit cards enough, then they start to lower down your cards and stuff like that. But yeah, the more increases you get, the better. Your available credit is really, as far as, let's say you have $1,000 in total debt of credit card debt, and you have $50K available credit, it looks really good. Like I got over 100,000 available personal credit that I don't even touch. That's just worst case scenario if I need to. But as far as business credit, I got about like 50,000, probably like around there. But the best part about, like I said, about having the business credit is usually you get approved. It's like 80% zero interest. And just to show you the power of it, I mean, I've done it in real estate and I've done it in my barbershops. So my barbershops, the only thing I pay out of pocket for is usually the location. I'll pay the down payment, and I'll pay the first month's rent. But after that, all the equipment, everything I could buy on credit card, all the equipment, all the chairs, all the mirrors, all the renovations, everything I could pay for on credit, I use on my credit card.
Yeah.
And I put pretty much all of it on the credit card. And then once the barbershops, just pretty much like a property, like when you buy, rent, and rehab a property, once it starts to bring income, I get all the profit. And instead of paying myself a salary, I aggressively pay down the debt, So let's say, just for example, I spent 25 grand, the barbershop's making 2,000 or 3,000 a month. Instead of keeping that profit, the 2,000 a month profit, I put it all towards a credit card. Then 6 months later, you got most of the debt paid off, and now it's all basically profit. And you only put in, let's say, the initial 6,000 out of pocket, so initial investment's only 6 grand. All the rest is all OPM, other people's money. Because you don't want to risk all your money. You rather use other people's money instead of you risking all your money. And plus, if fraudulent stuff happens or anything like that, then you can get the money back because the bank's going to fight for their money. So I always advocate, and on a daily basis, obviously, to use your credit cards for everything, every purchase that you make, except for your mortgage, everything should be all on credit cards.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of share some kind of the structure of how all that works, so we can share it on our group. Because I know some of the guys were asking about that, how to get the business credit and the EIN number and stuff like that. So
yeah, the EIN, they can do it on themselves on the IRS. Some places will charge you, but obviously it's real easy. You can do it online on the IRS website. I'm sure you know how to do it too.
Manuel, you can unmute yourself. I don't know if you have any questions.
Yeah, sorry, I just got disconnected. I don't know what the.
But I know you had some questions yesterday about the business credit. Maybe Royal can help you out, answer those questions. And one thing that we're gonna maybe get set up within the alliance, is maybe we can figure out how we can help each other piggyback off each other's credit. The ones that are really serious about like really taking to the next level, we'll kind of see if who we can piggyback with and do those kind of things. Go ahead, Manuel.
Well, I got a question. I keep getting these calls about getting capital for my business. I don't know. Is that the kind of loans that I need to try to
Usually,
get, or
yeah, the people are usually calling you. Those are usually like the high interest. Because like the actual loan, the business loans that they try to give out usually are super high interest. Over 10%. And I mean, if you can make that money back fast to pay it off, to pay it down fast, and yeah, it makes sense. Like, let's say you're a truck driver or something, and you make 5,000 a week, and you can pay it down fast, and yeah, it makes sense. But if you make slower income than that, then I wouldn't suggest it. I would say to go with the business credit card that has 0% interest. I would try to do something like that, like the American Express or Chase Business Inc.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually those are high interest loans, very, very high interest. I wouldn't even touch them. They're very, very, unless, like I said, you're in a high profit making business.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Manuel, I have a video. It's the law of 72.
Law
And
72.
it's called the law of 72. You know that the formula for that the law of 72, where it's like 70, you divide it by the interest.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that?
The law of 72? No, what does it do? Like, it's like
So it's like let me see if I can bring it up real quick to show y'all.
like it says, like, if the interest makes sense, basically, like if it makes sense.
No, so the law of seven, like if you do, I want to say the formula is, look, let me see if I can do it real quick. Like 72 divided by 5. No, it's 5 divided by 72. No, that's not right. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So set like 72. If you let's say the interest rate is 15%, right?
Yeah.
So 72 divided by 15. That means that in 4 years you're gonna pay double of what you paid.
Okay.
So that's the law of 72. Like whatever the interest rate is, you do 72 times divided by the interest rate, and they'll tell you how much. Like if you buy a car for 10,000, but you're paying 15% interest rate, and your payments are 5 years, you're gonna pay like
It's telling you, like, basically how long until you pay double.
yeah, you're paying double for that car. So you buy it for 10, but your interest rate is 15%, and your payments are for 6 years. By the time you get done paying with that car, you're gonna be ended up paying like 23,000. You understand? So you can
Yeah, but usually those business loans are real high interest. They're
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
high like
yeah.
that. Like a story, like as far as like business loans, I would say it's best to get like a business like trade line from like a local credit union. That's something I'm trying to work on myself. But as far as like I usually most credit cards. And another thing too, as far as like, let's say you can't get business credit and you don't have an LLC yet. I mean, it doesn't hurt to use your personal credit to invest in your business at first, to get the ball rolling. I would say too, just, I know sometimes you want to stay away from having that debt, but if you can afford to, like, I'll show an example. So whenever, maybe like 2 years ago, I was buying an 18-wheeler and I was trying to go through a business loan, and the business loan, the truck was 40,000. With the business loan, they wanted to see my tax returns. They wanted to see like 2 or 3 years of bank statements, the 2 years of tax returns. They were questioning every transaction on my bank account. They wanted to see proof of income. And on top of all of that, they wanted like 10% down for the truck. They wanted to lead against the title, which obviously means that we're going to own the truck. And they wanted, like, it was going to be like 12% interest. And I had good credit at the time. And that's to go with, the loan to buy this truck, right? $40,000. So I'm going back and forth for like 2 or 3 weeks with this company trying to buy this 18-wheeler. And eventually, I'm just like, I'm not going to do this no more. I'm not used to waiting this long. If I want something, I buy it. I don't have to wait this long. So there's a company that I've used multiple times for either an older vehicle, or if I want to make an investment. It's called Lightstream. It's a personal loan company, but it's called Lightstream, like spelled regular light, and it's stream like a stream of water. So Lightstream, it's owned by SunTrust, the bank. Now, when you apply for a loan with this company, they'll give you a loan. Let's say you want to buy a vehicle, you want to buy an older car, whatever it is. Let's say I want to buy an older car. I want 40,000. This is how much money I make. This is how much equity I have in my house. This is how much money I got to put away in the bank. This is my credit score. And if you're over 700, they don't even ask for proof of income. So, like when I applied for this loan, I was unemployed and I applied for $40,000. Well, I went ahead and used them again because I've used them before, and I went ahead and applied. I got approved the same day. The next day, I had 40,000 in my bank account. I went and bought the 18-wheeler, at 4% interest rate, compared to, you know, going with the business loan, paying 10% down, which is going to be like 4,000, and then having to come up with 12% interest a month of having to make the payment was going to be like 1,100 a month. But now I knock my payment down, even though I use my personal credit, my payment is like 585 a month now.
Yeah.
But it's light stream owned by SunTrust, and they give you a loan, and there's no lien on the title.
Yeah.
So when they give you a loan, you own the vehicle outright. Let's say you go buy 18-wheeler, you buy a vehicle, whatever. You own the vehicle outright now. Let's say you want to flip a car, you want to open up a car settlement, whatever it is you want to do, you own this outright. There's no title. There's no. It will show a personal loan under your name, but there's no lien on the title. So you can go do whatever you want. They don't even call to check to see if you bought a vehicle. So you can go get a loan with them and open up a business and tell them you're going to use it for whatever. They don't even care. They give you the money. If you have good credit, they reward that and they give it to you. I've used them before. I've had at least 4 or 5 people I refer to them that use them. My own dad has used them before. He's a truck driver, owns his own trucking company. So, and like I said, I've probably gotten like $60,000 worth of loans with them, and it's been one of the best loan companies I've ever worked with.
Yeah, that's a good strategy, especially like how these business owners. What you could probably do as well is like start by getting like a $5,000 loan with them, pay it back, and then get a $10,000, and then you know once you build that relationship, if you come across a deal or something, you know you can go to them to pull the trigger, and that's good. That's a good weapon to have, especially if you're looking for like real estate investment property where you need to buy it fast and you just need to buy it cash.
Yeah.
Turn around and reflip it. That's a
and worst case scenario, if you already have available credit too, you can always do a balance transfer. You know, where you send a balance transfer to yourself and you go deposit your bank and then you turn it to liquid. I don't know if that's the one thing you can do. I've done before too.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. Yeah. So did that answer your question, Manuel?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't know if the twins have any questions.
Yeah, I've helped them out a little bit before on some things too.
You have any questions, guys?
They just have their.
I'm pretty. Yo.
What's up, bro? You at the gym?
Oh,
Hey, you're muted.
There he goes.
I just left there like 30 minutes ago.
Well, for me, I was fighting a collection. I hired an agency to help take it off. But then I was looking on Credit Karma, where you can like send them a dispute letter through Credit Karma.
Oh, online?
Yeah, have you ever used that?
Well, if you do that, if you dispute it online though, there's a lot of rights that you give up from doing it online. So once you do it on there, let's say they validate the debt, then now you're pretty much giving up all your rights to fight it again. So if you do it through mail, it's a whole better process. You have way more rights as far as that. But if you do it online, let's say you try it online and they prove it, then you kind of pretty much on there for good now. You know, now you got to work with paying them or offer or that's pretty much it. It's pretty much on there permanently after that though. So I would say
that makes sense.
It's best to do it handwritten. Like I said, there's a lot of rights you give up when you do it online.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense because when you because almost like Credit Karma looks into it first before they submit it.
Yeah, for sure.
And if they find it accurate, then they actually flag it as accurate, and so
and then sometimes that even hurts your score even more.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you do it yourself manually, you could hurt your score even more by then validating the debt. But you know, it's better than giving up your chances for good because then now you can always, let's say you try to do it yourself or you want one credit repair company, you can always go try another credit repair company and try to get it removed in.
Yeah.
Like the best way to do it. This is this is how I know. I know a guy who runs a credit repair company in Houston, and this guy is his full-time business. The way he does it is, in a way it's true, but in a way it's not. It's kind of like frowned upon, but it's 100% legal. The way he would do it, he let's say you have a collection or something on it. He'll act like that person, and he'll claim it as fraud. He'll claim the debt as fraud. Which, I mean, if you never signed a collection, you could say I never agreed to have a debt with this collection company, so it's fraud to me. You can say that in your head. Theoretically, it's true. But he claimed it as fraud. So the way I'm telling you from experience, because I had an $8,000 charge off on my name, and my credit went from a 790 to a 620 in 1 month, and I was devastated. So I went to the oil field and I paid $8,000 off in like 2 months, and my credit score went back up to like a 660, but it never went back. And when I bought a vehicle, I'm not used to paying 5% interest on my cars. I got 5% interest, and I was like, I need to get this removed. After I already paid the $8,000 off to Kia Motors, whatever. So I went to my friend in Houston, and he wrote it off as a fraud account, because I only had one negative account on my credit report. And within 60 days, it was gone. And then I had a fraud alert on my credit report. I had to get removed because obviously the fraud situation. And then pretty much that's what got my score back up to being over 700 and removing it for good. So you can always do that. You can always claim it as fraud. I know other people have done that who don't know nothing about credit repair, but it was actually fraud in their account and they got it removed. You can claim it as fraud too, if it's for collection.
So that's if you have a charge off or what?
Anything, charge off, collection. That's pretty much it. I mean, you can't do that on a late payment on a vehicle, but that's about it. I mean, everything else you can.
Oh, so that's like saying if you have an old credit card that you just didn't pay.
Yeah, and then say the debt's just there. You can do it on that.
And they sold the debt, or it's still.
If you're still there and you just want to try it, I mean, you can do it. I mean, you can play dumb.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this is what this guy does, and he's worked on like famous rappers credit repair, like Lil Boosie and all these big famous rappers, and he's from Houston, and now this guy, he has Lambos, he rents out, he bought from credit, and he rents them out, for $1,000 a day. He has exotic car company, all based off his credit. He started with his credit repair business, so it's working for everybody that he does in Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, I paid him over $1,000 to work on my fiance's credit, so he's doing pretty good. But so what I'm telling you, what I just said is what he does. Basically.
Yeah. Nice.
But like I said, because that charge off, even though I paid it off in full 100%, it was always holding me back, so I couldn't deal with having that there. I just wanted to get removed and not have to ever worry about it again.
Got it. And
don't ever settle too, because if you settle, that lower your score anymore, because then you're paying less than you agreed to. You paying less than your debt will always hurt your credit score, because then people see you like, okay, you borrowed 10,000, you settled for 6. So you're always going to pay back less than what you agreed to. You broke your agreement.
Got it. If you can, send me over one of those templates if you have one.
Yeah. Now for that I don't have one.
For the dispute. Yeah, the dispute.
Yeah, I can find you a dispute one though, like a validation one. That's usually what I start off with first, is a validation. Yeah, and then you can find all Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. You can find addresses online, and then you just send them a letter. Just a letter, send it out like that. Okay. That's pretty much how it is. Like when I had credit repair software, and the credit repair software, I would pay like $300 a month, and I would get the customer's information. It would automatically put everybody's information. It would even put their signature on the bottom to make it look legit. So that's the way my software would work. And like I said, it was working good, but like I said, I just don't like not being able to guarantee removals. So that's why I kind of stopped it. But I still do my trade lines every now and then.
Nice. I don't know. Does y'all have any more questions? I'm pretty sure once we post the video in our group, like someone will have some questions later. But we'll stay in touch, man. You have any more questions, guys?
That was it for me.
You, Manuel?
We're good.
You good? All right, Royal. You're already back? You're back in town, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I just got my days off yesterday, so yeah,
nice.
I'm good.
All right, we'll stay connected, man. We'll definitely link up and do something.
Okay, for sure.
It's good talking to you, brother.
All right, brother. You have a good one.
Later.
Y'all later. Yeah.